Welcome back to IGN's live coverage of Comic-Con 2019. We are joined by Tom Taylor, author of DCeased, a terrifying thought experiment of what if the most supernaturally gifted people on Earth became murderous zombies? What could possibly go wrong? Welcome, Tom.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Do you think that's an accurate sort of description of what's going on in DCeased?
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite zombies, but it's something that can only exist in the DC universe. It's, the anti-life equation being corrupted by death itself and then killing Darkseid. Killing God in issue 1, as you do.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
We're only a few issues in, though, so there's a lot we don't know. But I was impressed with how quickly you kind of hit the ground running.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not. It's an anti-life equation rather than sort of a zombie virus, but it spreads sort of rapidly.
That's right.
Through social media.
Through social media, yeah.
Do you have any personal experience with social media that might have
just
informed
a little?
that?
Yeah, just a little. I mean, part of the whole thing is that part of it. Yes, it spreads through blood to blood as well. Good stuff. But it is that it spreads through social media, and one of the things they have to do to defeat the virus is destroy the internet. And sometimes I wake up on days and I go, that'd be good.
Yeah, I can see why you might say that. Yeah. Now you've definitely gotten really crazy with these. You've had a lot of fun. What informed how you decided to approach this, without spoiling too much, but just...
It looked, honestly, when DC call you and say, do you want to write a horror book for us? And you're like, do I? And they're like, by the way, you can kill whoever you want. You can traumatize all of your beloved characters in new and different ways. You're like, yes, I do want to do that.
Yeah, like Elseworlds is fan fiction you get paid for.
That's right.
Yeah.
It totally is. I mean, everything we do is all television is. It's all joy. Comics are just pure joy. And I grew up as a massive fan of Superman and of Batman. And so because I love them so much, I do know how to torture them really effectively.
Now, you've also done a bunch of stuff with Marvel as well. Do you have a different approach with how you handle characters and knowing that there are sort of, there's different audiences for DC and Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it all comes down to the character, and I make sure that, whatever character I'm writing, I make sure that I'm a fan before I write a single word. I need to give the fans what they want. I need to know why they love this character before I start writing their voice. So yes, I'm writing Spider-Man at the moment as well, and I'm writing Star Wars, and writing this ridiculous thing for DC, and, getting to play in some of the greatest sandboxes in the world with the best toys in the world.
That's a lot of different universes there.
It's amazing, yeah.
Now, one thing that people have really commented on is how much empathy your work has, and how much like genuine feeling you'll put into something that, you had people crying over a flying horse in the War of the Realms.
Right. Yeah, look, honestly, one of my main missions in all of my writing is to make people cry in public. Whenever somebody comes up to me and says, man, I hate you, you made me cry at work, or you made me cry on the train, I'm like, job done. I'm a happy man. And DCeased gives us that in spades, because we are really, horror for me. I'm not actually not a horror guy, but real horror is the horror that the characters experience when they lose things through loss, when they lose it. That's the thing that I'm like, that's writing for me,
You do this incredible thing. Just in the first 3 issues, it goes from sort of just like, just B-movie, junk food, like popcorn action.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of, I think, the 3rd issue, I was like, oh, this is actually really emotional. Like, this is, you're getting, which is kind of a cheap shot, man.
Yeah, I know. Look, I made a lot of people cry with issue 3, and, that makes me happy, as I said. But also, having said that, I'm not just a grim, dark guy. Like, I make sure, it's like, yes, cry, torture, violence, whatever. Now make them laugh. So I make sure that I also have jokes.
Comedy and tragedy.
That's right.
Now, you worked a ton on Injustice: Gods Among Us, which was sort of another, there's another sandbox to play in there where it's pretty much taking action figures in the sandbox and bashing them into each other.
Yeah.
Was there stuff you were sort of tempted to play with in Injustice that was a little bit going too far that DCeased is letting you do?
Well, I think the one big note I remember from Injustice is I wasn't allowed to kill a cat. So that was one of those things. I can definitely kill a cat with DCeased, That's the, honestly, there aren't a lot of restraints put on me. It's only because my editor like cats. So when I start with, can I spoil something? I will spoil something for you viewers. Sorry. You haven't read issue 1 probably, so I'm just going to tell you, a lot of people expect Batman. They have expectations of these stories. They've read them for years, and they expect Batman to just win in the end with some incredible plan. We killed Batman in issue 1.
That's I feel like a pretty good elevator pitch.
Yeah, right.
How do you kill Batman? Not a lot of people get to kill Batman.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and that makes me very happy that I get to be the guy to do that.
Now, have you always wanted to kill Batman? Is it just sort of like a weird experiment?
I'm a Superman guy.
Okay,
so, yeah,
that's fair. There you go.
Batman always gets all the limelight, and I'm like, no, I want Superman to be the one still standing after that.
Nice. Now, I'm going to do a bad segue here. Speaking of Cats, one thing that everyone's talking about is Cats the musical.
Yeah.
You have some experience working on stage plays. You've done a lot of writing for the stage.
Yeah, and musicals.
And also some for the screen.
Yep.
If you could make a musical about anything in any comic book universe,
Oh, wow.
what would you do?
Oh, my God. Now you put me on the spot. A comic book musical.
They've done a few of them. There was a
Yeah,
Spider-Man
there was a
into the
Spider-Man
dark,
one.
turn off
Yeah.
the dark or whatever.
Yeah. Look, I'm tell you what, if I could do what I'm doing right now, if I could make DCeased the musical, literally a zombie horror DC, but with music.
I think
with
there's-
love,
I think there's definitely an audience for that.
That's
I think
right,
People would go for that.
Yeah, at chorus, it is just screams. Beautiful.
Now, we've seen a lot of sort of Elseworld stuff, mess around with kind of, alternate timelines, like Red Sun, which is getting an animated movie now.
Right.
There's Gotham by Gaslight. Is
Yep.
there a historical period you'd love to throw superheroes into and just see what they do?
You may have said something that I can't talk about.
Oh, my.
The answer is yes, but
Well, I won't-
We'll just leave that one alone.
Well, beautiful. Tom, thank you
Yeah.
so much for chatting.
Thank you.
To find out more about DCeased, go support your local comic shop or,
Absolutely.
get it digitally and maybe get infected by something. There's more to come after the short break. IGN Live at Comic-Con. We'll be right back.